Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the Noobs SRO Qualifier event, round 2 on Brands Edge. How is everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. See already the Drift King Jeremy coverage in the chat, and we have Josh. Josh also in the chat. Welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the SRO event, round 2 for the Noobs RS community. I am your host, Alexio Gappa, and I'm back in the booth for today. Not sure what time it is for most of you, but for me it is currently in the morning, early morning. So yeah, gonna be waiting to get this race on track out here on Brands Edge. As now we be having the drivers, the currently doing their quali rounds. Right now we are on board with Chase Jones. Chase Jones, extremely rapid driver, driving for the Bowler Squad Racing in the Lamborghini. Currently in P1, I'm certainly gonna be butchering this name, but we have Khan in P1 in the McLaren, putting down a fast time of 122.4, and behind him is gonna be Thomas Morant, another McLaren driver in P2, driving the Dakota ESPORTS McLaren. Hello, Devin. Welcome. How are you today? Hope you're doing great. And Chase Jones moving up the grid, coming into P3 position as of now. And JJ Burr in the BMW he just dropped down to P5 as Domingo just pushed up into P4. Domingo, South African driver, my homeboy. As all of you would know that I am from Zimbabwe, and South Africa is really next to us. So next to me is my neighbor. I'd love to see that. Love to see more Africans joining the sim racing community. As I feel like Africa really has a lot of untapped potential. Anyways, moving on, we have Fernando Gomez, currently in P7. Hello, Lizzie Tsunade. Lizzie Alisaya in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I'm not gonna lie, today I'm going to be butchering a lot of names, as here this is going to be Shocky Alter. I hope that I am pronouncing that right. Said because my gas pedal is stuck at 50% and so I cannot race. You know what, just use a button on your wheel, no problem. I played this game on keyboard, it was fine, no problem. Just kick up the TC, I guess. Hello Lizzie, how is the family? With Tony Danzig in the white and gold Bentley. A Bentley, one of the cars that we don't normally see out on grid. Considering that the Bentley is one of the older cars, one of the originals to grace ACC. We have Alan Barker, currently P14, putting down a time of 129.7. Still out on track, hoping that he's gonna put in an improvement lap and gain some positions. Alan Barker, currently sitting in P15, hasn't been able to set an actual time yet, as far as my race control is saying. Alright, Chris Greta. Putting down a time of, well, just as I was about to say his time, he puts in a howler of a lap time, putting down a 124.5 in that Mercedes. Chris Greta currently sitting in P9. That is very good pace being shown by the drivers out here tonight, and the GT Racing Academy by David Humphreys in the BMW, putting it on at 124.5, so only separating him and Greta with only a hundredth of a second, which is pretty great. And I do apologize. It's been a while since I've done this. Um, if Jeremy, if you can hear me, what is the button that I have to click again for me to show the times on so people can see the times? We have Marcus and Rick. Is it Marcus and Rick or Marcus and Enrique? I think it's Enrique. For all of those people who know a little bit of Portuguese, am I pronouncing that right? The Midnight Motorsports. Honda. Honda. That's one of the cars that I love too much. I actually absolutely love the Honda. I think this is an actually underappreciated car. And I think that the Honda has some pace, but you know, because it doesn't get so much love out on grid, so I'm hoping to see what Enrique is gonna be putting out tonight in that Honda. VTEC power, VTEC power. And then we're gonna be Ramsey Conley in the heart of racing Aston Martin, putting down the time of a 1:25, almost a 2. Nice to have you back on stream, Alexia. Oh wow, you know, just been really tied up lately. You know, with the school's graduating season and everything. So, well, I do miss you guys as well. You know, because you guys are like family. Let's go. Let's go, Tony. Yo, Tony Danzig, my brother from another mother. I'm not sure if Tony Danzig is streaming tonight. But if you guys wanna watch and catch Tony Danzig and watch his POV, you can go over to Tony Danzig 123 on Twitch, and you can be able to catch his sim racing POV. Unfortunately, he's not streaming tonight. What the hell, Tony? Why? Ah, 132. Well, I'm sorry, you gotta forgive me sometimes. It's not coffee time yet. It's too early for that. I would say. Right, moving on, we have Juan Alvarez. Juan Alvarez currently putting on a lap time of 126.3. Today is a really competitive grid, as everybody is putting down a really good time. Juan Alvarez currently sitting in P18. Coming across the line, is he going to be able to improve on his lap time? It looks like he did, improving his lap time by 400ths of a second. Now putting down a 1. Where I am at right now, it is 12 minutes past 3 a.m. We have Sharky moving down the grid. Looks like more drivers were able to put some great times. Now putting Sharky into 19th, and we have Romagnoli. Paolo Romagnoli is currently sitting in P20, putting down a best time of 126.5. Mark Miller, Noobs RS junior driver, always good to see him out on grid and putting down an absolute good time. Mark Miller putting down a 126 flat. It's always good to see our junior drivers out here on a competitive grid, absolutely holding their own. And that puts Mark Miller in P19. So it looks like, as I can see right now, our grid has 23 cars on grid on Brands Hatch. Drivers, Brands Hatch is a really short track, so I guess cars like the McLaren, the Porsche, gonna be really dominant here. But as most of the people know, I am a sucker for the Porsche 992. I really love that car. Alan Barker coming across the line, putting down the time of 128.5. And it seems like he's just gonna wash out a little bit as he still has more time. to try and go for a faster lap. Right, so I'm pulling up the times here. Just so you guys can take a quick glance and see what we have right now. And also we're running a BOP, so see that the McLaren has 12 kgs added to it, but it's still being the dominant car. Maybe it needs an extra 10? And I just add 10 more kgs to the McLaren. With this being the SRO qualifier, we have a lot of fast drivers, you know, people trying their best, because the SRO is such a huge opportunity. You know, it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know, you qualify for the SRO event and you get to participate in that SRO event. There's gonna be big names that are gonna, you know, that are going to be watching you. You could possibly even get recruitment from a proper esports team. You know, yep. So that's why we have so many drivers giving it their all to make sure that they secure a spot for themselves to make it to that SRO event. Alright, let's keep up with the lead and see what we have right now. We have Thomas Moran moving into P1, setting down a fast time of 122.2. I'm not sure what is, I'm pretty sure Luke Whitehead holds the current lap time record on Brands Edge in ACC with a Porsche, but I'm not sure what time he put down. Whether it was a 121 or 120, I'm not sure. But Luke Whitehead, I'm pretty sure he's the one currently holding the lap record uh, out here on Brands Edge in ACC. But these times that we're seeing from these drivers, we have P1 Thomas Moran putting it at 122, and right behind him is Khan. Khan just at a tenth. Is it a tenth? Yes, just a tenth. Khan putting down 122.3. Oh, it looks like his run is gonna come up across Alan Barker there. Ruins his lap time a little bit. We have Chase Jones moving up into P3 right behind Tony Danzig. Both drivers seem to be on a hot lap, on a fast lap. Chase Jones, best time is 122.6. Hello, Jordan. Oscari, we have Jordan. Oscari, welcome to the chat. Alexio back. I don't know. Is he? Maybe he is, maybe he's not. We have Matteo Massini. The Sky Tempesta Racing McLaren in P4, putting down a 122.8. As you can see, like these drivers, they're not being separated a lot. Thank you so much, Ascari, for that continuous love and support. Thank you for that Prime subscription for 2 months now. And thank you. We appreciate you. You are man, the myth, the legend. Thank you so much. With that said, we have P4 currently being held by Matteo Massini. Putting on his best lap time is 122.8. And we have Lizzie Aliseya redeeming a driver shout out to my brother from another mother, Tony Danzig, who is currently driving the white and gold Bentley. Tony Danzig putting down a 124.6. So is 2 seconds off the leader's pace. But if you know anything, ladies and gentlemen, this is motor racing. A lot of stuff happen, and a lot could happen in motor racing. Now we have 3 minutes left into the quali session. So we have with 3 minutes left, Thomas Moran still holding on to that P1 position. Nice livery. I'm not sure if this was by me, but I did update my pit sync. So it's probably maybe I have to unsubscribe and subscribe again to to the the pit sync, because I did click update on my pit sync, but I think maybe because sometimes pit sync has this thing where if you need to unsubscribe and subscribe again for it to show some of it, for it to actually see the other liveries it's supposed to download. All right. You know what I'm actually happy about is Chris Grada being on grids with the Hot Boys Racing. Chris Grada. It's only been 2 seasons back that Chris Grada joined us as a rookie, and out here with one of the best people in the ACC community, Chris Grada holding his ground, currently sitting in P10. Chris Grada, I'm not gonna lie, Chris Grada has absolutely developed into a Chad in sim racing. You love to see that. You love to see drivers grow, and it is just more fulfilling when those drivers are a part of our community and we get to see their growth. Props to Chris Grada there with the Hard Balls Racing. Not sure if the other part of the Hot Boys Racing, Jordan Walker, is driving out here. I think he is not. And ladies and gentlemen, Matteo Massini has moved into P3, knocking off Chase Jones. Matteo Massini and Chase Jones separating each other with a tenth of a second. Alright, with 40 seconds, 45 seconds left, I am going to be getting some information from the Noobs RS principal Jeremy Kovic. I need to ask him what the button is that will let you lovely ladies and gentlemen see the times what of the drivers that will be doing during the race. I think Jeremy is on the live stewarding team because this is a live stewarded event, which you'd always love to do. So we have Jeremy, Casey Swansiger, and Monica being in the doing our live stewarding for this event. And ladies and gentlemen, we now only have 3 minutes left. So, I could have guessed it was insert, but oh yes, no need to panic. I got it. Um, you know, it's been a while since I've done this. Due to my other obligations. Okay, let's see. What are the other drivers still out on track? Tony Danzig still out on track. Let's see if he's going to be setting down an improvement. And just as I say that, looks like we give him lots of bonks during qualification, lots of extra penalty points for them. Please be safe. That is what we're receiving from the race admins right there. Anyways, as I'm gonna be going into chase cam, as we're going to be meeting our drivers out here on grid. Alright, let me see if I can queue up the funky bits. Hmm. You know what? That's a really good thing. Why? Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SRO Noobs Qualifier. So right now, here, we're gonna be meeting our drivers out here on grids. And currently sitting in P1 is going to be Thomas Morant, and right behind him is Con in P2, and we have Matteo Mancini in P3. Chase Jones currently sitting in P4, and we have Yevhen Seiko in P5, and we have Isham Domingo in P6, and Christopher Grada in P7. JJ Burr sitting in P8, and we have P9 being held by Robin, and in P10 we have Yuri, and in P7 is gonna P11 is gonna be Fernando Gomez, and we have Chow Jr. in P12. We have David Humphries in the GT Racing BMW in a P13. A P14 is gonna be Ramsey Conley and Tony Danzig, my brother from another mother, in P15. We have Marcos Enrique with the Midnight Motorsport in P16. Rodrigo Rode sitting in P17, and we have Paolo Romagnoli in a P18. And we have Juan Alvarez in P19 and Mark Miller sitting in P20. We have Sharky in P21 and Alan Barker sitting in P22. And rounding up the grid is going to be Nicola Vittorio in P23. And ladies and gentlemen, that rounds off our grid. Is going to be waiting for these drivers to head out on the track. And please, ladies and gentlemen, do remember to hit drive. There will be any driver starting from the pits. And thank you so much, Mark Miller, for that Prime subscription. Mark Miller, Noobs Junior driver. You want to see what he's gonna be able to put out here tonight, as I believe Mark Miller is something special. All right, now we have Thomas Moran in the Dakota Esports, leading the grid, leading everyone. It's insert. Oh yeah, don't worry, Jeremy. I figured it out. And I figured out why it wasn't working is because I wasn't synced onto the game. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight here we are on Brands Edge on the 19th of May with the SRO Qualifier event with the Noobs community. Alright, so, but yeah, I would like you guys to know that we also run other leagues. We have the GT4 and GT3 Rookie Series. Our GT4 Rookie, those were swapped, so our GT3 Rookie Series is now taking place where our GT4 Rookie Series used to take place. And I'm pretty sure the GT3 Rookie Series we have Furnish, Mr. Furnish, being the commentator for those. So if you can, please tune in on Tuesday. I'm not sure for you guys, but for me it'll be a Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm not even sure. The timeline seems to be, getting away from me. It's been a while since I've been around, per se. But anyways, any predictions from chat? What do you think is going to be happening into this race? Because as of today, we really have some. It looks like we're going to be having some really great battles going around. As I know I'm actually quite disappointed that I only get to see one Porsche out on the grid tonight. Because as a Porsche fan, I was hoping to see quite a good number. Looks pretty tight on front. I mean, the front five, they're going to be chewing each other pretty soon. Okay, we're gonna be switching into Halicam, as we're gonna be wanting to catch all that action, heading down into T1. Okay, so we're waiting to go green. Thank you so much for the follow, Rodriguez, and we are green on the Noobs SRO series qualifier, SRO qualifier. I'm sorry so much. The action is too much, and it looks like every driver is gonna be making it around T1 safely. I don't know why my race control is all yellow flags around. Might be a bit of a bug with the race control system, but everyone has a yellow flag for some reason. But it looks like everyone's gonna make it around like, the first couple turns pretty safely. As we have right now in P1, still Thomas Morant. Looks like he was able to get away safely, put out a little bit of a gap onto Khan right there. Matteo Mancini. Looks like he is clear of Seiko. But Seiko currently battling Chase Jones. Seiko looks like he had the jump onto Chase Jones there on the start, and now Seiko is in P4. Chase Jones still staying right behind him, right behind his mirrors. Chase Jones all over, wanting to get his P4 position back. Moving down the grid, we have JJ Burr trying to hold off Yuri right there. JJ Burr, the Noobs RS driver, driving the BMW, and the only Porsche on track. Currently engaged in a battle, and look who's behind them trying to join the battle. It's a three-way battle between these guys. Chris Greta in that BMW, almost say, in that Mercedes. Looks like Chris Greta has the look onto the inside going into there, onto Yuri right there. Chris Greta absolutely putting himself, making that overtake work. That is a lovely overtake by Chris Greta right there. To go to the back, we have Humphreys currently sitting in P13. Looks like he was able to get around Robin, and that puts Humphreys into P13. And right behind them, Ramsey Conley also gaining a position onto Romagnoli. Mark Miller also moving up the grid, currently sitting into P17, all the way from P20. Mark Miller putting up a hell of a performance. Looks like we have number 38 going out of the grid. If we can looks like 15 seconds back in time wasn't enough for us to catch what happened, but that was just unfortunate for the number 38 car. Alright, Chase Jones. It looks like Chase Jones was, looking at that replay, Chase Jones was able to make it around Seiko. Chase Jones now trying to close that distance onto Mancini. And right now we still have Thomas Morant actually starting to open that gap onto Con behind him in P2. We have Chow Jr. gaining a position. Chow Jr. now sitting in P9, and we have Chris Greta currently sitting in P8. JJ Burr in a P7. It looks like Chris Greta is still there, and he's going to be looking to gain that position onto JJ Burr pretty soon. And now we have Tony Danzig having to fend off Fernando Gomez right behind him. Fernando Gomez sitting in P12 and Tony Danzig in P11. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 1 hour race, and the drivers have a mandatory pit stop. So you're going to be seeing pit strategies coming into play as well. And we have Juan Alvarez right behind Mark Miller. Mark Miller in P17, Juan Alvarez in P18. Juan Alvarez looks like the gap is going to remain a little bit sturdy. Mark Miller making a little bit of a mistake right there, but Roderick Rudd also joining the bout. Roderick Rudd all up in the mirrors of Juan Alvarez right there. Is Roderick Rudd going to be having enough in the tank to get around? We have Chase Jones closing the gap onto Mancini. Chase Jones now 0.1 of a second. Has a look on the inside. Is he going to squeeze his nose? Is Mancini going to give him some space? It looks like Mancini is going to be able to stay ahead coming onto the exit of that turn. But you see Chase Jones coming back. A beautiful switchback by Chase Jones. He's going to be having the inside coming onto that McLaren straight. And we have Chase Jones making the pass onto Mancini. Chase Jones moving into P3. Lovely stuff from the drivers out here tonight. And as that we have Seiko also joining the bout, making this a three-way battle between Mancini, Seiko, and Chase Jones. Just 0.2 seconds behind is Chow Jr. is Yuri, looking to get around that BMW. Yuri absolutely letting Chow Jr. know what he's all about. Yuri currently sitting in P10. Looks like it's going to be a battle for P9 right there. We have Fernando Gomez also closing the distance onto Tony Danzig right here, but Humphries also closing the distance onto Gomez. So this is going to be a tough decision for Gomez to make. Do you attack or do you defend? Oh my god, it seems like we had a three-way battle between these guys, and it looks like Chase Jones is going to be able to gain another position. It's going to be still this battle between Chase Jones and Massini. Chase Jones shutting the door on that exit. Chase Jones, a defensive masterclass by Chase Jones. Chase Jones moving into P2. And right now we have Seiko moving into P4, gaining a position, and is now in P4. And we have Domingo, the Project Vapor BMW, currently sitting in P5. It's quite of a decent gap away from JJ Burr, zero point 0.7 seconds. Chase, Chase, Chase. We have Lizzie Alicia giving some love to Chase. And we have Mac Miller in the 99 car spinning out, going back 15 seconds. I wasn't fast enough to catch it, but it looks like might be some McLaren troubles. The McLaren sometimes loves to do this. On those low speed exits, if you give it too much gas, you just end up spinning out. And we have Yuri making it around Chow Jr. Yuri now sitting in P8. Tony Danzig onto Chow Jr. right there, but it looks like he wasn't able to slow down in time for him to make that corner. And it looks like Chow Jr. is going to be able to hold his position from Tony Danzig. But it looks like Tony Danzig, I'm not sure what's happening, but the drivers are dropping and gaining positions at the same time. So we have a four-way battle between these drivers right here. Tony Danzig, we have Humphries, we have Conley, and we have Robin. This guy's all in it's a five-way battle actually. Is it a five-way or is it a four-way? And we have somebody showing Gomez some love. Fernando Gomez, if I can find his name here. There is so much action going on around that it's so action-packed. Fernando Gomez currently sitting in P14, but we have Robin closing the gap onto Conley right there. As these guys are still battling between the three of them, we have Tony Danzig, Humphries, and Conley in a three-way battle. And it looks like Robin has also closed the distance, has joined the bout. We have Domingo making it into P4, gaining the position onto Yuri right there. As it looks like, and keeping up with P1, the race leader, Thomas Moore. It looks like he's now leading P2 by 6.3 seconds. This is an absolute action-packed race tonight. Seiko sitting in P5. Right behind him is JJ Burr, only 0.8 seconds behind him. Looks like JJ Burr is gonna be trying to close that gap to get that P5 position. Tony Danzig closing the gap again onto Chow Jr. Is Tony Danzig going to be able to make it this time around? Or is Chow Jr. going to prove to be a challenge? Tony Danzig all up in his mirrors, and right behind them is Conley and Humphries still battling. Humphries also having Robin behind him. So this is a really tough situation, because do you attack or do you defend? We have Sharky currently sitting in P20, only 0.8 seconds behind Alan Barker right there. So you have Conley making it around Ramsey. Conley now moving into P11. Humphreys is still behind him, keeping that gap tight. And it seems like we have an 89 has had an issue as wait, 89 is now dropping positions and is now moved down to P18. That's unfortunate for him. You hate to see it. We have, oh my god, Enrique has picked up a 5-second penalty, and so has Humphreys. They both have picked up some 5-second penalties. That is just unfortunate, but do remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have some live stewards watching this, so yep, they're going to be having some keen eyes looking at these incidents. So with that 5-second incident, they're going to be losing a couple positions to the drivers that are right behind them. We have Seiko still keeping up with Domingo, trying to get his position back. We have Yuri gaining a position. I'm not sure what happened right there. I'm not sure what happened to JJ. JJ Bear probably had an incident, and JJ Bear dropping a couple of positions. JJ Bear probably had an incident going on today. And we have an onboarder being requested for Mr. Jones. Alright, gotta make sure, I gotta remember to go to Mr. Jones. Let's take a look at where Mr. Jones is currently on the track position. I'll be sure to remember to do it when he's coming around the start-finish straight. Alright, Ryan Conley. Ryan Conley is still keeping behind Tony Danzig, and Ryan Conley is only 0.2 seconds right behind him, staying up in Tony Danzig mirrors right there. JJ Burr now currently sitting in P14, not sure what happened to him. He probably had an incident, but is now 0.2 seconds behind Romagnoli. It looks like he's gonna send it onto Romagnoli right there. That was a beautiful send by JJ Burr, making that pass stick. Okay, now I believe Chase Jones. So we have Chase Jones coming down into the Druids. Looks like that was just being a left car. And that Lamborghini into Graham Hill, as he's going to be heading into Cooper Street. Chase Jones absolutely trying to do his best. He's actually closing the gap onto Morin here. Now Chase Jones is only 5 seconds away. Remember the last time we checked on him, Chase Jones was 7 seconds behind, but now he's only 5 seconds behind, as he is now heading into Hawthorne. Straight into Westfield Bend. He's gonna be wanting to go a little bit wide here and carry as much speed as he can, and Chase Jones absolutely mastering that oversteer understeer of that Lamborghini as this pushes out of Sterling's, heading towards Clark Curve, and after this gonna be pushing it, hammering that throttle down, absolutely closing that gap onto Thomas Moran there. That will be Chase Jones coming to the start finish straight, putting down a time of 1:23.3. Chase Jones an absolute monster when it comes to understanding the oversteer understeer of his car. Alright, moving on, Chow Jr. now in P6. It looks like Seiko was able to pull away from him, but Seiko and Domingo still in a battle for P4. And behind with Chris Grado gaining a position onto Yuri right there. Yuri going into the pits. That is not a showroom ready Porsche. It looks like he probably has picked up a couple bumps and bruises on that car. And we have Gomez picking up a drive-through a drive-through penalty. I'm not sure if that was due to track limits or if that was from the stewards. But we have Gomez picking up a drive-through penalty. Probably Trecots. Mancini closing the gap onto Chase Jones as well. Mancini is now zero point 0.9 seconds within Chase Jones. This is going to be a bout for that P2 position. But it now looks like Thomas Moran was listening to me, as he's now starting to open the gap onto Chase Jones as well. But as we have it right now, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest lap of the race is currently being held by Chase Jones. Chase Jones putting down a 1:23.3, and with that, that is currently the fastest time of the race currently. JJ Burr now coming close into attacking distance of Humphreys right there. The two BMWs at battle. It looks like we have yellow flags on the number 25 car with Chris Grata. Let's go back 30 seconds in time. Let's see what happened to Mr. Grata right there. He was doing so well. Coming into... Did he just do what I think he did in this turn? Yes, of course. This turn, yeah, you have to be careful coming into this turn, because you will get loads of oversteer on the gas. Oh, and it looks like as he was trying to recover, he overgassed it as well. It's just unfortunate, but it is motor racing. It is motor racing. Alright. Now that if 43 minutes left in the race, and everybody seems to be spaced up with everybody, you know, at least everybody having a 1 second gap between each other. So it looks like the race is now, the battles are now starting to settle down a little bit, but you never know what happens. It is motor racing. Somebody might just stack it into a wall. And please do not let me curse somebody. Give somebody the commentator's curse. I do not want that. Mark Miller putting down, currently sitting in P17, and his best time right now was 1:26.4, which is absolutely good. Good by Mark Miller right there. So it looks like we now only have 22 cars on the grid, so I'm pretty sure we had a dropout already, because we had 23 cars at the start. So right now, the battle we really have is Mancini trying to close that gap onto Chase Jones, but both of them are actually starting to close that gap onto P1. Thomas Moran in the Dakota Motorsports McLaren, having lots of clean air to do rapid hot laps. As we say that, we have Ramsey Conley now closing that gap onto Chow Jr. We have JJ Burr gaining a position onto David Hammer. It looks like Tony Danzig had an incident and he's now dropping positions. As you can see, yep, he definitely didn't have a great time. That is unfortunate for Tony Danzig. Tony Danzig now also having a 5-second penalty. Ryan Conley now 0.5 seconds within Chow Jr. right here. Ryan Conley currently in P7 and Chow Jr. in P6. You hate to see it, it's unfortunate, and Roderick Rudd 0.8 seconds behind Romagnoli. Let's pretend we did not see that. I do not want to be accused for commentator cursing somebody. Juan Alvarez is now currently sitting in P11, followed by Roderick Rudd stacking it. Sharky, I'm not sure if this is a battlefield position between Sharky and Tony Danzig. And we have Mark Miller also behind them. Mark Miller also trying to gain a position, staying in within them, waiting for an opportunity for him to just make it around. Alright, as we have it right now, I don't think any driver has completed their pit stop, their mandatory pit stop yet. Ladies and gentlemen, the SRO Qualifier event is brought to you by the Noobs community. It's being powered by the Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid. And our other events are sponsored by Trek Titan and Circuit Core. So if you guys, you could also. Ooh, that is just unfortunate for Nicola Vittoria right there, as that is gonna lose him a couple positions. As now he has to wait to rejoin safely. The safe rejoin by them. So as I was saying, we're also sponsored by Trek Titan and Circuit Core. Circuit Core, if you ever wanted to have your own ACC server, you can go head over to their Discord, and you can gain more information on how to have your own ACC server. Circuit Core are really good guys over there in their Discord, and they will help you out. Alright, Ryan Conley still behind Chow Jr. Not able to close that gap, as this gap between these two drivers is still consistent. But as we say that, Chase Jones, the track too flowy. Might be Chase Jones absolutely running away from Mancini. Chase Jones is now leading Mancini by 2.3 seconds. As we say that, Chase Jones is now 3 seconds within Thomas Mart. So we might have a change in the race lead if this goes on. Alan Barker in the pits with Tony Danzig. It's gonna be a race to see who comes out of the pits first. It looks like Alan Barker is gonna let Tony Danzig go out first. And we have Romagnoli picking up a stop and go 30. Paolo Romagnoli picking up a stop and go 30. That's an unfortunate turn of events for Paolo Romagnoli right there. I'm not sure what happened. Ryan Conley still all up in Chow Jr.'s mirrors right there. Now 0.2 of it's only 0.2 seconds of a gap separating these two drivers as they're coming into clock curve. Looks like Conley is not gonna send it. He's gonna remain conservative, waiting for the right opportune time to make this overtake down in the start finish straight. Is he gonna be able to carry enough speed? But unfortunately, that BMW just outpacing him, and it looks like he's gonna have to get into range again and try again. Alan Barker now in P18. Alan Barker has completed his mandatory pit stop, so that is something to note. With the other drivers not having completed their mandatory pit stops yet. I'm not really sure what I would do if I were the one to be driving right here. We have Conley coming into range again, trying to get that P6 position from Chow Jr. We have Domingo still sitting in P4. Looks like he has a comfortable gap separating him and Ivan Sako. Not even sure if I'm reading that correctly, but I hope I am not butchering most of these drivers' names. But I am trying my best. Ryan Conley. Looks like Ryan Conley is able to make it around Chow Jr. I'm not sure. Chow Jr. heading into the pits. So now Ryan Conley here needs to drive out of his mind to make sure that he closes that gap and have the perfect pit stop he's ever done, to make sure that he gains the position when he comes in for a pit, because Ryan Conley still has a mandatory pit stop to complete. Chow Jr. currently sitting in the pits, going down a couple positions, but most of the drivers that are overtaking him now still have mandatory pit stop to complete. Roderick Rudd currently in a P10 has Christopher Grada behind him. Chris Grada looks like Chris Grada is just gonna be on the inside. As they are going to be side by side on the start finish straight. It looks like Chris Grada is going to be well ahead coming into T1. And Chris Grada makes that move, that pass stick. And Chris Grada taking the P9 position from Roderick Rudd. Looks like Roderick Rudd also has a little bit of damage. They both have some damage. As you can see, both of those cars, smiling at us. Just smile and wave. Just smile and wave. Mancini currently sitting in P3, starting to steadily close the gap onto Chase Jones. Chase Jones is now 2.6 seconds within Thomas Morant. Just gotta go with the flow. Indeed. Alright, so as I see right now, that 5-second penalty that Tony Danzig was given is has been is off. So I'm pretty sure that if you get given a time penalty, it gets if you don't if it gets added to your pit stop, to your pit timer. So if you're supposed to have like a 30-second pit stop and you have a 5-second penalty, it will end up being a 35-second pit stop. So we have right now Chris Greda coming into the pits to complete his mandatory pit stop. As right now, the grid is now fairly separated, with every driver having at least a 1-second gap separating them from the driver behind them or the driver ahead of them. As ladies and gentlemen, we now have, we have 32 minutes left in the race. If there's something that I really miss, I miss having Uncle David. By this time, I'm pretty sure we'll be pretty much talking about food. So Uncle David and I do love our food. With that said, that reminds me, I'm out of snacks. So I've recently been buying Lay's potato chips. I've been using banana yogurt as a dip. I don't know if that's a thing, but they taste really, really good for me. But anyways, keeping up with the race. Probably on his way home. Well, I hope he travels those. Anyways, keeping up with the race. We still have Thomas Moran sitting in P1. His best time being 1:23.3. And it looks like he's going to be he's keeping this gap between him and Chase Jones steady. Alright, so looking at the top speed right now is currently being held by Tony Danzig in that Bentley. So the older car actually putting down a 248 kilometers an hour. And the second top speed being put by Chris Grada in that Mercedes. Lots of bonks, says the team principal. Anyways, how is the live stewarding going? Hope you guys are having a blast. Dropping the hammer. Alright. Now we have Tony Danzig and Yuri in a battle. Yuri currently sitting in P4 and Tony Danzig in P13. Mancini coming into the pits. Losing a position to Psycho, but Psycho also has a mandatory pit stop to complete. So we're going to be having a lot of positions are going to be changing as some of these drivers come in to complete their pit stops. We have Ramsey Conley also jumping into the pits to complete his mandatory pit stop. Currently P1 and P1, P2, P3 and P4 still have mandatory pit stops to complete, which I guess all of them, they're going to want to pit when the race lead comes into pit as well. That's so they can be always at the same lap as the race leader. With that said, we have Domingo currently moving into P3, provisional P3 I would say, because he still has a mandatory pit stop to complete. Tony Danzig moving up, also as Yuri. Both drivers moving up, and so as Chris Greta. Chris Greta now moving into P14. It was just unfortunate for Chris Greta after having that incident that spun him out. And we have Chase Jones coming into the pits a little bit earlier than I expected him to. So I'm not sure in this situation if we'd say that he's going for an undercut. I'd say that he's undercutting his tires compared to the race leader. So you're gonna see how that race strategy pans out for him. Alright, Chow Jr. currently sitting in P8, and Chow Jr. has already completed his mandatory pit stop. Currently behind is right behind Conley. Conley sitting in P7. And that Aston Martin. If there's a car that I'm actually waiting to see in ACC is the Aston Martin Evo 2. I always wanted to see the Ford and it came. The Ford GT3 is now in the game, but I also hope that they give us the Ford GT4 as well. They give us the complete package. Alright, now currently watching Tony Danzig and Yuri in a battle. Only 0.6 seconds of a gap separating the two of them. Tony Danzig in the Bentley, one of the older cars, one of the pioneers of ACC. Yuri sitting in that Porsche 992, one of my favorite cars in the game. Chris Grata with the Hot Boys Racing in P13. So we have the only Honda, the Honda. You know, we don't really get to see this car out on any grid so much, the Honda, and I think that the Honda is actually it's a fun car to drive. And for those people who know that I do love driving a lot of different cars, and I've driven the Honda, and I absolutely love the Honda. It's a different car to drive. You know, it's not like any other car I've driven before. So I actually quite enjoyed my time. Okay, looks like Yuri is slowly but surely closing that gap onto Tony Danzig, but Tony Danzig doesn't have to be aggressive here because Yuri still has a mandatory pit stop to complete. Alright, currently we have Domingo moving into provisional P1 as Morant has gone into the pits, but Morant, let's see where Chase Jones came out. If we can see the gap between to see if if the strategy by Chase helped him out or if it didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't help him because now he's 29 seconds behind Morant. As right now we have P1 being held by Domingo, still has a mandatory pit stop to complete, and also P2 also has a mandatory pit stop to complete. So with that said, it looks like Thomas Morant and Chase Jones
are going to be getting into P1, and we have yellow flags on number P38 on Nicola. I'm not sure what happened to him, if there was a little bit of contact involved, or if that was just McLaren being McLaren. Yep, coming into curve, a little bit of snap oversteer right there. That is just unfortunate for Nicola. But it is, like I said, it is what it is. It is motor racing. It does happen. Especially on Brands Edge, that corner is really, really dangerous. If you just over gas it, it'll catch you off guard. So if you want to go on the gas, I would suggest opening up that steering a little bit earlier as you get on throttle. That would surely help you to gain more speed on the exit. Looks like Domingo has completed his pit stop and is now in P3, leading Chase Jones. I'm not sure what happened right there with Chase Jones, but Chase Jones is now in P4, and that sends Domingo into P3, and provisional P1 being held by Psycho. Psycho currently holding P1 and still has a mandatory pit stop to complete. He has he has Thomas Morant 12 seconds behind him. So with that said, we already know that Thomas Morant is going to be moving into P1 shortly as Seiko comes into the pits to complete his mandatory pit stop. Mark Miller, an absolutely great performance being put out here by Mark Miller. Mark Miller now in a P13 from P20. Mark Miller absolutely holding his own with the faster drivers on this grid. Roger Grid sitting in P14, 1.8 seconds behind Mark Miller right there. Not sure what happened with Sharky, but he's now sitting in P15. His best time being a 126.9. Marcos Henrique currently sitting in P10, putting down his fastest time is a 125.6. And I will give him all my respect in that Honda. Chow Jr. currently sitting in P7, putting down a 124.4. Ladies and gentlemen, do remember that we also have a livery competition with this SRO Qualifier event for the Noobs RS. So, and I'm pretty sure most of those livery competition, just submit your custom livery, and your livery would be the community will get to vote on which livery they like the most. We have Seiko coming into the pits, and we have Domingo also onto the start finish straight. And Chase, it looks like Seiko is gonna get out of the pits way before Chase Jones. Can he make it towards him? So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that undercut by Chase Jones did more damage to him, because now Chase Jones currently sitting in P4 and is 3 seconds away from P3. Tony is currently 8.1 seconds, so 8 seconds from Henrique. Tony is sitting in P11, and it looks like he's closing the gap a little bit, but we will see what the Bentley has in store for us as the race continues. Matteo Massini sitting in P5, putting down a fast time. His fastest time is 123.4. And his last lap time was 123.6. Good consistency being shown by Matteo right here. Moving on with Ramsey Conley now sitting in P6. That's a great showing by Ramsey Conley. I'm pretty sure he has gained a lot of positions. While we're talking about gaining positions, let's see who gained the most positions. Alright, it looks like Juan Alvarez, currently sitting in P9, has gained 11 positions. So Juan Alvarez has started in P20 and is now in P9. It's a really good performance being shown by Juan Alvarez right here. And let's see who has lost the most positions. Looks like Yuri has lost the most positions right here. Putting down his best time is 123.7, which means he should be way up, way up the grid. If that it was his best time, but his last lap time was a 124. So that might also be the reason why Mancini now down 2 positions from where he started. And Chase Jones started P4 and he's now back in P4. But it looks that undercut was not the right call here. Why? I would attribute it to Branzich being such a really short track that makes the undercut not really work. But I'm not sure his pit strategy probably going into the race, because if it were me in his position, I probably would have pitted at the same time as the race leader. Alright, let's see. But as I said, Chase Jones being Chase Jones. Chase Jones is such a madman. He has already closed down 3 second gap in 2 laps, and Chase Jones is now 0.2 seconds behind Saiko. As it looks like Chase Jones is going to be looking to grab that podium finish. An absolute madman. Chase Jones, Rodrigo Rudd, also trying to gain some position onto Mark Miller right here. 0.8 seconds separating Rodrigo Rudd and Mark Miller. Mark Miller in P13. Pretty soon it's going to be a battle between Rodrigo Rudd and Mark Miller for that P13 position, as they are on the start-finish straight. Coming into T1, it looks that gap is still going down. Ladies and gentlemen, going on forward, we have Chase Jones still right behind. Ooh, that the commentator's curse is a little bit of bonks going around. Chase Jones was trying to make his way around, so we have to go. Let's go into Halicam and see if we can catch the action, as he was right behind him. I'm not sure if he could see the slower car. Oh, that is just unfortunate, as it looks like it was Seiko who hit the other car, which also threw Chase Jones off. That is going to be one for the stewards, and that might also have um, that might actually give Chase Jones the position if Seiko is found to be at fault. Chow Jr. sitting in P7. And P7 looks like he's going to try to make his way across Chris Kreider here, as he's going to be lapping Chris Kreider. As I say that, Chow Jr. now in P6. No, P7. Conley is in P6. Alright. So, Conley's best lap was 124.5, but his last lap was 125.1. So, there must have been something that happened, or, consistency. Okay, commentator's curse. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I wasn't looking at that. We saw nothing. Because I'm pretty sure on this stream that will probably be the 3rd time I have probably cursed a driver. Lucky. Chase Jones 0.1 seconds within Psycho right there. As Chase Jones is still keeping that pressure on onto him. Still all up in his mirrors. Rodrigo Rudd still trying to catch up to Mark Miller to be able to make a move. Only 0.8 seconds of a gap is separating them. And we have Nicola. Nicola still pushing in this race. You love to see that. You love to see him still racing out there. Alan Barker currently sitting in P18, putting down a 127.6, and his last lap time was a 132.3. I'm not really sure what's going on with some of these drivers, as some of their lap times are not consistent. And we have Nicola picking up a 5-second penalty. And it says, I'm not sure why my race control says Chase Jones is in P3, but the game is saying Psycho is still in P3. Alright, so it looks like Chase Jones made it around Psycho, and now Chase Jones is in P3. Chase Jones driving like an absolute madman. But as it stands, Chase Jones from the start has gained one position, but it was a really good drive for Domingo. Let me check where Domingo started. Domingo started 4 positions down. He started in P6. And somehow he found his way onto P2. Really love to see that from my South African brother right there. But as we still have 13 minutes left into the race, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do our drivers still have something else to go, something to say. As I said, we have Matteo Massini in the Sky Tempesta McLaren starting to close that gap onto the Seiko right there. Looks like Massini actually has a faster lap time than Seiko. Their last lap times, Massini had a faster lap time. So if things stay like they are right now, it looks like Massini will be able to gain that position and make it around them. It's a battle for that P5 position, as we have Roderick Rudden now has closed that gap onto Mark Miller, but it looks like on that straight, Mark Miller is going to be able to edge ahead a little bit onto Roderick Rudd, and Roderick Rudd is going to have to try again. And as I say that, you know, he just washes out wide. Another commentator's curse. Alexia, you're such a genius at cursing the drivers. Moving on. Looks like that gap onto... I'm not sure what happened between Psycho and Massini. It looks like Massini has dropped behind Psycho a little bit, as now the gap separating them is 1 second. Romagnoli having a little bit of damage in front of that McLaren, currently sitting in P16. His best lap time is a 125.7. With that lap time, I think he should be a little bit further up the grid. But just as I say that, the guy in P15, his best lap time is a 123.7. His last lap time was a 125, so nearly a 2-second difference from his best lap time. Massini now back in range of Seiko right here. Massini, is he going to be able to get alongside coming into Druid? Unfortunately, no. It looks like Seiko is going to be able to hold him off for now. Oh, and Massini, he was able to catch it. Yellow flags on Grider. Ooh, that Mercedes is not looking good. That Mercedes has seen some better days. It's just unfortunate for Chris Grider right there. Puts his tires in the grass a little, just for a split second, but that was enough to send him spinning. And Massini still all up in the mirrors of Seiko right here. 10 minutes into the race. So you're gonna see the drivers go all out. It's now only 10 minutes, it's now a sprint race. Well, it's been a sprint race for a long time, ever since it hit minute 20. Ooh, a little bit of bumping and banging between the two. But no harm, no foul. It looks like Psycho is gonna let Massini pass, as that gives Massini the P4 position, and Psycho now in P5. Looks like Massini on some of those exits, his rear end seems to be stepping out, sending him all over the place. Also happy right now, Thomas Morant leading leading P2 by 21 seconds. That is one large gap. As now Thomas Morant is gonna be having so much clean air, he can even go for a Sunday drive. He can potentially serve a drive-through and still be in P1. Marcos Enrique sitting in P11. It looks like Mark Miller. I think this battle between Mark Miller and Roderick Rudd is still going. It looks like Roderick Rudd was able to make it around Mark Miller right there. And Roderick Rudd now sitting in P12. And Mark Miller is Mark Miller going to be having an answer to this? Is he going to try to get alongside that Lamborghini and get his P12 position back from Roderick Rudd? Shorky sitting in P17. And right behind him is going to be Alan Barker, currently in P18. Looks like my headset is running out of power. So give me a second while I plug them in. Alright, headset plugged in, everything is ready to go. Oh, looks like Mark Miller was able to make it around Roderick Rudd, and now we have Thomas Morant now coming across the slower drivers, the slower cars. And with Chow Jr. being given a 5-second penalty. Well, that 5 second is currently leading Humphreys by 28 seconds, so that 5 second is not really gonna do him any damage. It's not gonna lose him position. So Chow Jr. has his P7 position safely secured for now. 6 minutes 40 seconds left into the race. We have Chase Jones closing that gap onto Domingo right here. Chase Jones now 0.7 seconds, only 0.7 seconds of a gap separating Chase Jones and Domingo. Is Chase Jones going to be able to make it with 6 minutes left into the race? If any of you guys know Chase, you know that it is possible. With Chase Jones behind the wheel, he might be able to do it in 6 minutes left within the race. So you have it, Matteo Massini currently sitting in P4, and it looks like if he just does if he keeps on doing what he was doing, he will be able to bring it home in that P4 position. Chase Jones absolutely closing that gap, and is now 0.3 seconds within Domingo. Is they are now on the start-finish straight. Chase Jones in that slipstream. It looks like he's gonna stay in that Domingo slipstream and closing that gap. Is he gonna send it on the inside? Domingo closing that inside, defending that inside from Chase Jones. But as we saw from Chase Jones from the previous laps, he was going for a switchback on this turn. And it looks like Domingo is gonna be shutting the door, being the Gandalf the Grey, saying to Chase Jones, "You shall not pass." But it looks like Chase Jones is gonna be staying behind him, just being a nuisance, trying to force a mistake onto Domingo right there. But as it is right now, Chase Jones has to close the gap and try again. Juan Alvarez closing that distance onto Humphreys. Juan Alvarez now 0.3 seconds separating the two drivers. It looks like Juan Alvarez is going to be able to make it side by side. But it looks like the BMW is going to pull ahead a little bit, but he has the inside coming into the next turn. But unfortunately, it looks like Humphreys was able to pull ahead on that exit. It's a really, really great battle. Really, really great battles going on. Being taken to the wire right here. Chase Jones closing the distance again, now 0.3 seconds within Domingo. But it looks like Domingo is going to be defending for his life here until the race comes to an end. Juan Alvarez closing the gap onto Humphreys, and Tony Danzig is now in P10. Enrique currently sitting in P11, Rodriguez now in P12, and he now has a comfortable cushion between him and Mark Miller, who's currently in P13. Juan Alvarez closing that gap onto Humphreys right there, 0.5 seconds within Humphreys. Chase Jones still trying to get around Domingo, but Domingo looks like he's going to be defending and defending hard. And it looks like Thomas Morant is even uh, opening a greater gap onto P2. Thomas Morant now leading P2 by 28 seconds. Chase Jones, 0.1 of a second. Is he going to be able to go side by side? But no, Domingo absolutely defending his heartstrings out. This is going to be holding on onto that P2 position. But Chase Jones trying his absolute damnedest to make it around him. Looks like I'm not sure if with Massini is his rear tires are giving out to what, but I just see him on some of those exits. He's a little bit squirrely, but no harm, no foul. As long as you keep it on track, and as long as he's keeping it on track, everything is good. Evan Seiko sitting in P5. His best lap time was a 1:23.9, and his last lap time was a 1:25, 1 minute 25. Which not sure what happened, if it was like slower cars around him that slowed him down. With only 1 minute 45 seconds left into the race, I'm not sure if we're going to be having, after this lap we might have one more lap to go. If we check with the race leader, yes, so after this lap is going to be another lap, as we have some yellow flags on the 99 car. 99 car, that is Mark Miller. I'm not sure what happened, but it was two cars, the 99 and the 13 car. Pretty sure if it's something penalty worthy, the stewards will be on it. As we have it right now, Thomas Mort still in P1. So after this lap, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it around to the finish line before the timer hits 0. Because if that does, but I'm pretty sure as of now, Chase Jones is praying for one more lap for him to be able to make it around Domingo right there. Keeping up with the race leader, it looks like ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to be having one more lap. Chase Jones is going to be getting his wish, but time is of the essence right here, as now he only has one more lap to go to make that pass stick onto Domingo. But Domingo showing an absolute defensive masterclass, as Domingo has been defending since the last 6 minutes. He's been defending and defending hard. As you can see, Chris Kreider, that car doesn't really look showroom ready. Picking up a whole lot of damage right there. As we have it right now, it looks. I don't think, ladies, I don't think Chase Jones is gonna be able to get that P2 position. As Domingo is just completely shutting the door. That is just unfortunate for Chase Jones, as his lap times are currently faster than Domingo, but because Domingo is really defending really good, Chase Jones is unable to make it around. And right now we have Yuri now 0.2 seconds within Chris Grider. What is Chris Grider gonna do? Chris Grider is gonna let him by, or is he going to defend? Looks like he was trying to defend, but Chris Grider lets Yuri go, and that gives the P14 position to Yuri. But Yuri has a 5-second penalty, so all Chris Grider has to do here is to make sure the gap is not more than 5 seconds when they come onto the finish line. As we have it right now, we have the race leader completing the race. Chase Jones is still trying to make it, but it looks like it's going to be futile, as Domingo makes it across in a P2 and Chase Jones taking home the P3 position. That was just unfortunate for Chase Jones, but an overall good showing from all the drivers out here on track with us. As those we had really good battles across the whole field. As right now we have Ryan Conley is going to be bringing home that P6 position, and Chow Jr. already in the pits, bringing home that P7 position. P8 is going to be David Humphries. I'm not sure if these positions are correct, as some of the drivers are now already leaving the server. All right, with that done, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our Noobs RS SRO qualifier, round two. And that was a really great race from everybody. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, a general failure. Huh? Okay, so I couldn't save the highlights for some reason, but okay, that is not an issue. Alright, alright, so we're gonna be sitting here and waiting for the whilst the drivers are going to be joining the standby rooms, the ones who finished in the podium positions, so we can get some driver interviews going on. I would be trying to get you guys the replay, so you guys can have something to watch whilst me and the drivers are having a quick chat. Okay. Oh, so he didn't save the replay. So that is just unfortunate. He didn't save the replay. So, that is probably why it's a general failure. Because I probably got kicked out of the server before the server probably ended before I could finish um, before I could save the highlights. Well, that was unfortunate. We're going to be moving on and see if we have the drivers joining us in the standby. All right. Looks like we have P1 and pretty sure that was P2. Hello guys. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
All right. So I'm not sure if Chase Jones is gonna be joining us, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna give him maybe whilst we do the other drivers, the interviews, take the interviews from the other drivers. We'll be waiting for Mr. Chase Jones if he's willing to come into the standby, and I can drag him into the live room. So, Mr. Thomas Moran, that was an absolute banger of a race from you. Tell us
Yeah,
about your.
it was
Tell us.
nice, but it's the track is so full focus, and then with the traffic, it was I was holding my breath sometimes, and now I'm completely sweating. But it was so nice. It's a shame I don't know what happened with Khan. I just saw him go straight on the third corner, I think. Uh, but yeah, it was a nice race, and um,
Well,
P3 did, did the
I could say.
same strategy.
I could say with that pace you were showing, that was a really, really monster of a performance because you were leading P2 by almost 30 seconds at the end of the race. So you had lots and lots of clean air. That was really, really
Yeah,
something.
yeah. But it's just a track. From the moment that you lose a little bit of focus, you can die easily on this track. Uh, and but again, it worked to not change tires. It's 30 no 25 seconds you just gain by not changing tires, so it works. And I think Isham did the same thing.
Oh, that is good, and I'm pretty sure for the viewers that are out there, you can be able to copy some of this man's racing strategy. All right, moving on to my South African neighbor, Mr. Domingo.
Hi,
Not sure.
hi.
So, yeah, so
Man, what a race.
yeah, so I don't know if you know, but I am from Zimbabwe, and I was quite happy to see a fellow African, on the grid, and
Oh, really?
yes,
Wow.
and having you put that performance, at the start of the stream, I was like, yeah, Africa has a lot of untapped talent, and you just bringing that podium finish just proves my point. So, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, big thank you to Noobs or Us for putting up the race. It was awesome, man, and to represent my country, South Africa, on a big platform like this. Pretty proud and very happy, to finish second place. It was an awesome race, a bit sweaty, I would say. Um, yeah, but like Thomas said, the no tire strat worked out for us. So, I knew that there was some drivers ahead of me that had much better pace. So my mission when I started the race was just to, compete with myself and try and stay out of trouble. I did have a few code brown moments with Shadshnev breathing down my neck with fresh tires. And then eventually there was contact, so I sustained like 6 seconds damage there. But luckily, I was able to hold off third place Jones, which was a very difficult task because I was dealing with some damage on the car, and Jones was putting the pressure. Yeah, photo finish at the end there. So yeah, very proud. Shout out to my team Project Vapor, all the guys that are watching and supporting me. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Noobs Are Us.
Well, he appreciate that, the love and support from everybody, our drivers, and especially you guys on Twitch watching us, watching these drivers, putting up a show for you guys. Week in, week out. As these drivers, I'm pretty sure for the SRO event, like I said, these drivers gonna be putting in a lot of work. So it is really good that they come here and show us what they've got, giving us some great entertainment.
And very well organized.
Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah,
most
great
of that
job,
goes
man.
to our admin team, the Drift King, Jeremy Carbage, Andrew Casey as well, and everybody behind closed doors who makes everything of this happen. And most importantly, you guys, the drivers as well. So,
Bye bye.
with that, we're gonna be calling it a day, a night, an afternoon, wherever you are. And hello, Davy Collins. Welcome, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if
Bye.
Mr. Jeremy Carbage is here to if we are raiding out to give me anybody that we're going to be raiding. Okay, no raid from Mr. Jeremy Cobbage, so I'm not sure if I can find somebody who is streaming ACC. Huh. Maybe I can, let me just take a quick look. Oh, I was asking if you have somebody that you want us to raid. Whilst you look, yes. Okay, you can take a look, and I will be loading the. Huh. Okay, that was a really, really great race. But for that photo finish, it was really, really something else. Between Chase Jones and Domingo. Domingo was really, really defending in those last 6 minutes of the race. Alrighty. Acero Corsa Competition. Xbox Sim Community. Alright, so I'm gonna be lining up this raid for the Xbox Sim Community. Alright, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be thanking you all for joining us here, and I'll catch you in the next one, in the next SRO event. Peace.